So after playing through some of Marvel's Avengers beta on PlayStation 4, I think I'm ready to cancel my first pre-order ever. So when I found out we were getting an Avengers game, I was stoked. I'm a massive MCU fan, went to pretty much all the last phase of movies on opening night, followed all these characters' journeys for the last 10 years with the start of Iron Man all the way to the end of Homecoming, which is the last one I sorted out. Cool. I was sold. I was done. The fact that Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal are the two publishers behind it, there was the icing on top, really. You look at the games like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, they've sold millions of copies worldwide, and they're just really good games. And then I took my first bite, and boy, did it leave a sour taste in my mouth. The opening cinematic, you know that one thing that's meant to sell the game and everyone's meant to fall in love with it as soon as watching it? Yeah, that seemed like it was a really poorly rendered YouTube video. It's like me watching something at 480p. It actually genuinely made me sit there and, consider whether I should actually keep the pre-order for the game I currently have, or if I'm gonna dump it. So let's talk about the main story. The opening mission is the mission that we get shown to us from the original release of the game and any sort of demo that you've played at any sort of events. I know it was around at PAX last year when that was still going on. Didn't get a chance to play it, so needless to say, when I got my hands on this beta, I was psyched. I'm like, I get to play this level, it's going to be great. And the opening level is actually amazing. You start the game off and you start playing a store, and holy shit, is it fun. The fact you get to run around and wield Mjolnir and throw it at people and just command the God of Thunder's hammer, as well as the, lightning and all that itself, is genuinely amazing. I actually love it. You get introduced to all their sort of ultimate abilities and their supers and all that sort of jazz. It's fun, it's good, it adds a different mechanic to the game. Straight after that, you can play as Iron Man. You're playing in one of those, railroaded flying area things. You do that, it's great. You sort of, you're flying around, you're shooting things, and I genuinely enjoyed it. After you do the flight section, same sort of thing as 4, you get to land, you get a whole, combat section where you run around, you punch and you shoot. It was fun. Immediately after that, we get to play as Hulk, and boy, that man's a tank. He just runs through things, he can pick up people and puny god them around everywhere. It's great, I love it. So straight after Hulk, you get to play as our good old best boy, Captain America, and to be able to throw his shield around was freaking satisfying. I loved it. Like, it was, to be able to play as Cap was really fun. He's easily my favourite Avenger, and the fact that I get to wield him for that little small period, I'm fine with. It was fun. After that, we get to play as Black Widow, and she was fun. She didn't have anything special. I suppose, a person running around with combat abilities and, being able to shoot a gun. Alright, it's cool. Later on down the track, we get to sit there and play as Miss Marvel as well, and she seems like a really fun character. But there is an issue I have with all of this. Now, all the characters themselves play differently, which is what you expect from a brawler game. You don't expect to pick one character and have the exact same moveset on everything. Obviously, Iron Man has the ability to fly with his, his Iron Man suit. Black Widow can, do some counters and dodge, and she can grapple and disrupt attacks. They all play differently enough that it's, they all have their own feel, but I don't know, it leaves quite a lot to be desired from them. The one thing that I cannot stand with some of the characters, especially in a brawler style game, is that some of them can't parry and some of them can't block. The only thing you can do is dodge, and when it comes to fighting a massive group of enemies, you just have to keep dodging and dodging and dodging, and it's just a constant dodge fest. Like, fair enough, I know the sort of style of game it's going for, but give me some sort of counter or something, especially as Hulk. Like, the guy just gets hit by a robot and just does damage. I would have liked to be able just to sit there and, have some sort of counter where someone goes to hit him and he just throws his hand out and just knocks them back or something like that. That would genuinely be amazing. And while we're talking about characters, we're going to touch on the movement real quick, because this is something that annoyed the crap out of me. They're all slow, they're all clunky. Fair enough, it makes sense for Hulk, who is a freaking literal tank. But when you've got characters like Iron Man that just feel really janky to move, and even Black Widow, Miss Marvel as well, I feel like anyone that isn't Hulk shouldn't be that slow. It feels like you're walking through water with oil clothes wet. You're heavy, you're being slowed down. It's not fun for anyone. And, just a little bit of spice on top, Iron Man brags at the start of the game about slowing down for Thor. didn't think he meant it for the rest of the freaking game. The hell? Help. That is definitely something that needs to be fixed. Like, please don't go into the full game with that movement speed. It hurts. It's not fun. So we're talking about characters and gameplay. We got to mention the camera. The camera just feels way too far in on the characters. It's not very pleasant, especially when you've got your counter characters. Like, look at games like Arkham Knight, Insomniac Spider-Man. They've all got that camera back when you're in combat. You can see a lot around you, and you know when someone's going to hit you. So especially when you're playing those counter characters, it's like, oh, okay, block, problem solved. There we go, we're good. This game here, you can't see directly behind you, and more than likely you're going to take a bit of damage. It's not fun. Level design's mediocre at best. It all follows the same structure with the rage strikes, whatever they're calling them. You pretty much start the mission, you run down a corridor, you find some enemies and you punch them up and you do something, and then you repeat that about 3 or 4 more times until you get to the boss. Seems fun. Seems really fun. They do put some fun mechanics in there where you get to capture a point and stand on that, or you know, you can flick some switches and it does a thing, and it's really not fun. Like, it works for Warframe and games like that. This, and I feel like, you know, the loot's the other half of it as well, that sort of goes into it, doesn't really make it worthwhile. You sort of just do it because, you know, you're doing it, or a story mission's making you do it. The actual story levels were pretty cool. Like, that opening level with the design was amazing. It was action, action, action. It felt like I was in an MCU film. Same with the second level. I don't know, I thought it'd be a little bit more. Alright, let's talk about the performance of the game. It sucks. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. And if anyone's down in the comments going, oh, it's a beta, the game's a month off. If you're going to release a beta with, you know, a lot of content in it, get the frames right, at least. Like, it doesn't bother me that it's in 30 FPS. 30 FPS doesn't bother me in the slightest. I played on really crappy computers growing up. 30 FPS I'm just used to. Shit, I play a lot on Nintendo. That's sort of normal for me. But when you've got a game that's dipping under 30, and especially when I'm running this on a PS4 Pro, the hell. The game gives you 2 graphics options, a performance mode and a 4K mode. Both are freaking atrocious. Performance is smoother. I'll give it that. Performance is definitely smoother. You run around, you know, it's fun. It's smooth. 4K is a dumpster fire, and I say that without hesitation. It freaking hurts. The only difference between the two, and actually no, touch back on 4K. 4K, the models still look janky around the sides. I played this on my 4K TV just to test it, and I still don't like it. It's not good. Getting it at 30 FPS as well, especially at 4K, yikes. It's not fun. When you're handling the camera, especially turning it really quickly, your frames will drop. Doesn't matter what mode you're in. And also, it will make some people motion sick because the motion blur on it freaking hurts. I don't normally get motion sick with things. I'm really happy that I don't. But this sort of made me feel a bit funny after playing it for a couple of hours. And in the end, I just went, I've had enough. I don't want to sort of touch this again for the rest of the night. And I haven't sort of touched it again since. So when you think of a looter game, the first thing that sort of pops into your mind, or I mean, it pops into my head at least, games like Borderlands, games like Destiny. You know, you run around, you kill some things, you get some better gear, or you find a chest and there's some, you know, better armor in there and something, and you know, it's all really fun. You wouldn't have pictured it for an Avengers game, and it feels out of place. Now, I'm not saying I don't like looter games. Borderlands and Destiny I have probably more hours on than any other game in my library. Like, it's, you know, I actually genuinely enjoy those games. And it works for them because they do it well, especially with Destiny, where when you get a new piece of gear, it physically changes your character and how it looks. With Marvel's Avengers, you get a new piece of gear and you're pretty much getting another piece of paper saying, this one's stronger. Okay. There's no cosmetic difference. It's all, you know, locked behind skins. And the one thing that I feel like would make this game that little bit more rewarding is, regardless of what skin you're wearing, if you got a new piece of equipment that was, say, epic or legendary or whatever the tier system is that works with it, put it on the character and show it off. Make it look really cool so it actually, you know, each person that plays it with each hero can have a unique design, not just, you know, here's one skin for you. There you go. Use that. Come on. Just play with it. Have fun. So I briefly mentioned cosmetics. This game is full with skins, which I do not mind in the slightest. Like, there are some really cool ones in there, especially when you've got There's a skin you can unlock for each of the, I think they're called iconic skins, where it's each of the default characters, you know, like skins from the start of the game, where you got Miss Marvel's one, which is her actual Miss Marvel costume, Cap's one, which is, you know, standard Captain America costume, so on and so forth. Does not bother me in the slightest. I believe there's a shop in there you can sit there and get some, you know, more with, but I haven't sort of come across that to do it. Not an issue. My problem is with the cosmetics, is that some of them are locked behind a battle pass, which isn't a big deal. Fair enough, you know, you play the game, you do some stuff, it makes sense, it's great. The thing that annoys me with the battle pass is conveniently placed right underneath the top layer of it is a big, wide, open space. Now, I'm going to start theorizing real quick. It's almost like, and I know this game's a, you know, a game as a service, which is going to be going on for the next couple of years, but it's almost like they're going to sit there and put a paid pass in there. And if I'm already paying $80 for a game, no, I'm not paying more money to sit there and get premium stuff. It works for games like Rocket League, where you're sitting there and, you know, you're spending $25 on the game, and then you're putting another, you know, like $10 in every 3 months. You know, it supports the developers, fair enough, and the content you get in it is amazing. But there's nothing here in this battle pass that's making me look at it and go, oh, that's really cool, I want that. It's just, it doesn't work. Also, another sort of little sprinkle on that theory powder on there, just to hammer it home. The top layer of the battle pass has free underneath everything, and it sort of adds more fuel to the fire. Look, I could be wrong with this, I don't know, but going off this so far, it's not looking good for this game. What also annoys me with the battle pass is your progression is pretty much stunted every single day. So the way it works is you've got 2 daily missions, which you obviously complete 2 different ones daily, and 2 weekly missions, but it's 2 per character. So each character has its own battle pass. You don't sort of play through the game as, say, if you like Miss Marvel, for example, and you just want to play through the entire, you know, strike stuff with Miss Marvel, you can do that. But you won't unlock skins for Thor, or Black Widow, or Iron Man, or etc, etc. It's annoying. If you're going to do a battle pass, and it's just a bit of my, you know, 2 cents being thrown in there, do it similar to how Doom Eternal did it. Now, it's a thing where you play the story, you do certain missions, and you kill a certain amount of enemies, and you know, finish it on difficulty or whatever, and you get points to go towards it. Or you just finish a mission and you gain experience, and that gives you unlocks for the battle pass. It's great, you play the game, you reward your characters. It's amazing. And you unlock skins and customizations for every single class, whether it be weapons or, you know, demon skins or whatever. It's great, it's amazing. This just feels like it's locking, you know, skins and stuff behind specific characters, especially if I don't like playing Hulk, which I don't. I'm not going to go for the Hulk skins. There might be a really cool one that I really want just to have as a novelty thing, or especially for collectors, if they just want to collect all the skins, and you don't like a certain character, that's going to hurt. Now, with this battle pass as well, you can speed up your unlocks with it by spending in-game currency, but up until this point, I haven't found a way to actually earn more of said currency. I've got 3,400 something sitting in my, you know, in my inventory. I don't know how I get any more of that. And alright, I'm just going to speed through this entire battle pass and get everything. That's well and great, awesome, cool. Are you going to make me put more money in if I can't sit there and find more of it? Especially because there's a premium currency in there as well, and there's going to be microtransactions, and I'm really not looking forward to that, just to get a skin. I mean, make it so it's an unlock thing, please, but do it with the story, like, you know, same as how Insomniac Spider-Man did it. You collect 20 trophies and you get the, I think it was a stealth suit or something, I can't remember which suit it was, but you got something out of it and it was rewarding, whereas this is like, you know, you want this cool skin, money. So I know I've ripped into this game a lot, and I'm not doing it because I don't like it. Like I said at the start, I am a massive MCU fan. Actually, I love Marvel as a whole. It's obviously growing up as a kid, you know, you read your favorite heroes, you know, fighting villains, and it sparks something in you, and it's amazing. And I'm not hating on this game because I want to. I genuinely want the best for this game. And from what I'm playing right now, it feels like it's going to be another Anthem. And I don't like that. I really don't. as much as it sort of pains me to say it, after playing it, writing the script and recording it, I think I am probably going to cancel my pre-order of the game. Like, I was really hyped when I seen it. I got the collector's edition, and it's got a statue and a bobblehead and a keychain, and now playing it, I can't justify spending 300 something bucks on a collector's edition for a game that I'm potentially not going to like. And it's just, I don't know, I maybe might get it somewhere down the line, but I don't think that what we're getting on day one is worth that $100 price tag. When it comes down in price a little bit, or if it gets better, whichever one comes first, I will jump back on the bandwagon and I'll give it another go and I'll have fun with it and I'll give it a crack, and you know, I'll probably change my opinion then. I don't know, we'll see. But right now, from what I've played, I can definitely say that I'm disappointed, and I don't think that this is a game for me. Guys, thanks so much for watching. First sort of review I've done. I feel like, I don't know, I've played the beta, put the video up, put my thoughts on it at least. I might be doing a few more reviews in the future. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, smash subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Do all that fun stuff. And until next time, I've been Aussie Rascal. Thanks for watching. Peace!